This is the end of the 2023 season. This bike is most likely going to go into winter storage today after this video. Last year's walk-around video, I didn't really have much done to the bike, if anything at all. I more or less just threw it up there to have it on the channel. I've been really wanting to do this updated walk-around video this year because I had quite a lot of work done to the bike over last year's off-season. So this bike will most likely get put in winter storage today after this. As I'm looking at the bike, it's absolutely filthy too, so please just don't. First big thing I did to the bike was get the Memphishades Road Warrior fairing and their handguards. It completely changed the way this bike rode and felt, especially on the highway. No problem with it at high speeds, doesn't shake, doesn't rattle, feels pretty solid. Kind of tough to see, but we got rid of the other mini 8 handlebars we had. We got the 6.5-inch Thrashin Supply risers with the Thrashin Supply high bend bars. Those completely changed the way the bike felt and rode as well. It felt much more nimble after I switched to these. Those mini 8s were kind of a lot to just, I don't know, I just didn't like them. As soon as these were on, the bike felt like it had way more maneuverability, and they look pretty sweet too. We got the Avon grips. These are just super comfy grips, nothing special or fancy about them. We have the short MX style levers on the brake and clutch from CrossThread cycles. Those are pretty cool. I did just recently change the turn signals to the customdynamics white and amber LED alternating, so those are pretty cool too. I really like those. I think as I filmed my last year's walk around video, it was right before I had done this work too, so I got rid of the stock tail lights that kind of came out here, were big and goofy and ugly, and I got the little custom dynamics style lights. I also relocated the license plate to right here. I'm trying to show you guys the mount as best I can without showing my license plate. The license plate used to be mounted off over here somewhere or something silly, but that completely cleaned up the back end of the bike big time. Looks so much better, way cleaner, and they're super bright and everything, completely visible at nighttime, no issues on it. No hazards. So I love those things. I love the way it cleaned up the ass end of the bike big time. The Thrashin Supply saddlebags, these are pretty sweet. I was very on the fence about getting some sort of bag set up for this bike. It's really tough to ride with no storage on your bike whatsoever when you're going out for long trips and everything. I had the swing arm saddlebag on there. It completely destroyed my paint on my swing arm, which is why it's like taped off and shit. So I pulled that bag off, got these. It's nice. It doesn't screw up the paint. Holds just about everything I need for longer trips, and they've grown on me. The longer I've had them on, the more I don't mind the look of them at all. We have the bungking crash bar, which is pretty sweet. I don't really use it as much, as more as it's kind of an aesthetic look. Every once in a while I'll stretch my leg out when I'm feeling a little cramped up on the bike and everything. I grew up riding dirt bikes, so I always like these foot pegs, and they're super grippy. I think my shoe was wet one time from walking through the grass, and I had my stock pegs, put my foot on, and just completely slipped out. And now we'll start getting into the fun stuff. Oh wait, before we get into the fun stuff, I just recently did the rotors. We got the Arlen Ness jagged edge rotors. The bikes on these bikes specifically are notoriously bad, and this one is no exception. They were pretty bad. The back brake's always been junk. The front brake was alright, but my rotor got pretty warped, so it was very bouncy on the brake. So we just had my mechanic pull those and throw these on. They look really good and they perform much better, so I'm happy with those as well. For the biggest changes, so I had stock exhaust, stock intake and everything last year, and we went with the S&S 2-into-1. I don't even remember what model it is at this point, but S&S 2-into-1, Screamin Eagle intake, and the Stage 2 S&S 475C cam. I think stock this bike was like 75 horsepower, and now it's hovering like around 120-ish horsepower, 120-ish torque, 125 torque from the street tune, according to my mechanic. But the thing just absolutely rips, and it sounds beautiful too. I don't really want to fire it up right now because there's a lot of people around, and I don't want to be that person to draw attention to myself. But yeah, that was the biggest thing, was the Stage 2. My buddy did it all out of his house. He has a full garage set up at his house, and he definitely took care of me, recommended a lot of the parts. He's done all the work on this bike. I claim none of it. besides some of the stupid like cosmetic things, but everything else he did completely from his house. But I think that's it. I wish I had the bike cleaned up before I did this video. It is what it is. It's December 17th or something. I live in New England, so I'm surprised I'm even out this long with the bike. I may end up storing this bike after this ride, but we'll see. I'm walking around trying to see if there's anything else that I forgot. I don't think there is. That's pretty much it. I don't know how far I'm going to go with this bike. I really want to do the suspension. That is probably going to be the next big thing I do if I continue going to increase performance on the bike, is the suspension. I gotta get new tires. My tires lasted me a season. I just had these put on last off season, and I kind of rode through them pretty quick, so I gotta get new tires thrown on this winter. I definitely don't ever plan on getting rid of this bike. I want to keep it for a long time, so I do kind of see myself continuing to increase performance on it. So I think suspension will be next. I'm not sure where to go from there. My mechanic will tell me what to do. He knows what's up. But yeah, thank you for watching. I'm glad I was able to get it out today to give you an updated walk around. But yeah, here it is. Looks pretty sweet. All right, see you.